Shacking up isn't a sin. It's just not. But should you do it? That's what we're talking about today. Stay tuned. Probably the majority of people you speak to are telling you, go ahead and live together. It is not a sin. You've also been told that you need to live with somebody before you get married so that you can determine if that person is worthy to be married or can be trusted, or if that person has some weird, undetectable preferences that would just make you get turned off to the idea of being their spouse. First question is obvious. Will you have sex? The Bible is very clear that sex is between a husband and his wife. It's between a wife and her husband. In fact, outside of the marriage, it is better for men and women not to have sexual relations with each other. Fornication has been mentioned by Jesus himself as something that defiles you. He said sexual immoralities. Other translations specifically say fornications. Fornications is a man and a woman not married having sex. Sexual immoralities is all forms of sexual behavior outside of a man and a woman that are married. Is it possible to not have sex living with your significant other? Sure.
It is a little weird.
If you're able to not have sex with somebody over months and months or years and years, it's probably likely that you're not that into them. I just can't imagine, especially as a man, I can't imagine myself living with a woman that I'm gonna marry, that I'm extremely attracted to emotionally, physically, and not having sex. I just can't see it. But is it possible? Perhaps. But the second question will make this an even more difficult scenario. Will you be lusting after this person? People need to take showers, people wear pajamas. All these things are breeding ground for lustful thoughts. I just imagine living with a woman that I'm sexually attracted to, taking showers, coming out of the shower with her towel on, or wearing these pajamas that are just short shorts or just barely any clothes. Listen, y'all know what y'all be doing, you ladies. Come on now. It would be impossible for me to live with a woman that I'm about to marry and not lust after her when she just does her normal stuff. When you lust in your heart after someone, it's as if you committed adultery with them, or it's as if you had sex with them. Lust exists in the heart, and lust is something that should be avoided, same way that premarital sex should be avoided. The next question is probably the most important, and that is, what is the heart? What is the reason behind you wanting to move in with this young man or young lady? Is it because you don't trust them? Is it because you don't feel like you know them well enough? Is it because you're trying to see their ins and outs? You're trying to see if they secretly hide bodies in the freezer, in the garage? Living with them is not going to put you in a more comfortable position to get married. Statistically speaking, those who live together before they get married are much more likely to get divorced, because it's a commitment issue. It doesn't have anything to do with how they act. It has nothing to do with them, really. It has everything to do with you and your understanding of what it means to commit to someone. I'm here to tell you today, there will be not just one, not just two, many things you will discover about your future spouse that you're not gonna like. There are gonna be qualities, there are going to be tendencies, there are going to be habits, there are going to be just little nuances and how they live their life that's going to annoy the crap out of you. It's going to annoy you above all else. But that doesn't mean that you leave. It doesn't mean you jump ship. You have to work with this. You have to work with the person. You have to learn how to grow with them. If you enter in a marriage with both parties agreeing to stay together only until both parties agree that leaving is better than staying, it's only a matter of time before that happens. Now, here are some suggestions if you are seriously contemplating shacking up with your significant other. One idea is to go on a couples trip. If you have another couple that is seeking after God's own heart, that's trying to follow Christ, you guys can team up. The guys will be in the guys' room and the girls will be in the girls' room. You probably will discover different aspects of their character and their personality. And I think it would be a very good thing as long as you are protecting yourself at night. And if you can't do that, and you have to be honest with yourself, you're going to be moved to do stuff you know your mama don't want you to do, your grandma don't want you to do, then just don't do it. Secondly, just get married. Just get married. I have heard so many couples that are idolizing the wedding ceremony and pushing the wedding ceremony back a whole year or 2 years so they can get everything perfect. That is not in and of itself wrong, but if you want to move in together, but you don't want to get married because you're waiting for this special ceremony, just have a small wedding initially. Go ahead and get a pastor, go to the justice of the peace, tell only a couple people if you're worried about many people being upset that you got married without them being there. You don't have to tell everybody. This is between you two and God. Marriage is between the husband and the wife and God. That's it. Everybody else doesn't matter when it comes to marriage. I know you want to please them. I know they want to be there. They want to experience that joyous occasion with you, but understand that if that puts you in a worse position with your walk with Christ, you have to put that aside. You have to put other people's wishes aside. The point is, you don't want to idolize the wedding. You don't want to idolize the ceremony. You don't want to put yourself in a position to sin. And the only reason why you're not going to remove this temptation to sin is so that you could have this beautiful wedding long from now that all your fans and family can come to. That becomes an idol, and that is a horrible thing to do and to turn your marriage into, because I guarantee you a beautiful, expensive, popular wedding is not going to make your marriage successful. Only your dedication and your consistent willingness to honor Christ in your marriage will keep you two together forever. What do you think? Do you think it is a sin to shack up? Do you think these alternatives to shacking up would be helpful? I love to dialogue with you down in the comments. That's all I got for you. My name is Zachary Carroll, aka Pastor Z. This is Christian Hood Talk. Y'all be cool. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Bro, sis, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. We are on the road to 500 subscribers, so make sure you're telling all your friends and family about the videos we're doing here.